Today we are going to learn about chemical reactions and equations. Every day you come across some changes like ice is converting into water, milk is converting into curd. When you are burning magnesium ribbon is converting into magnesium oxide. These are the changes we come across every day. So here question is that how can you say there is a chemical change or there is a physical change? Can you tell anyone of you what is chemical change and what is physical change? Oh, I know. Physical change and chemical change.
When there is a change in the state of matter, then it is physical change.
So basically a change which is a permanent change, we are saying that it is a chemical change. Change in the state means we can again get back to the reactant. So in chemistry, if any chemical reaction is taking place, from reactant you are getting some product. Yes? So when two or more substances react together, it gives you one new substances with new properties. Then only it is called as chemical change. Okay? So that's why the name of this chapter is Chemical Reactions and Equation. So now here question is that how will you come to know that chemical change has taken place? Yes, first of all I told you that if there is a new substances with new properties, then only chemical change is taking place. So let us have a look at some activity that will give you the information that chemical change has taken place. Here it is barium chloride. What is the formula of barium chloride? BaCl2. And this is sodium sulfate. What is the formula of sodium sulfate?
Na2SO4.
Na2SO4. The two chemical substances are ready here. Let us take one test tube. And I am taking first barium chloride. You can say it is a colorless, little bit white, it is a colorless. And now in this, I am going to mix sodium sulfate. Can you find some change?
Yes.
What change is taking place?
Colorless to
Change in color. We observe here that sodium sulfate, when it reacts with barium chloride, then we are getting barium sulfate plus common salt. Here the change in color is because of the formation of barium chloride. Barium sulfate. So here it gives you the information that chemical reaction has taken place. Okay? This arrow marks giving you the information that one of the precipitate is formed, that is a barium sulfate. I am taking one more chemical reaction here. This is potassium iodide. What is this one? Potassium iodide. Fine. And this one I have made, this is called as lead nitrate. What is this new solution? Lead nitrate and potassium iodide. What is the formula of lead nitrate?
PbNO3 twice.
PbNO3 twice. With this one potassium iodide we are adding. Let us see what happens. This is potassium iodide. Okay, this is colorless. Fine. And in this potassium iodide, I am going to take lead nitrate. Potassium iodide is there, now lead nitrate I am putting in this. So we can clearly see that there is a change in color. So when I am taking potassium iodide plus lead iodide, the two products what we are getting, that is lead iodide plus potassium nitrate. This what you observe the yellow color, that is the formation of lead iodide. So here I can say that as there is a change in color, chemical reaction has been taken place. You all have learned in lower classes that if you take any metal, like suppose I am taking zinc metal here, and if you metal this zinc metal, if you are putting in acid, let us take sulfuric acid. So when you take zinc in this sulfuric acid, you will be getting a salt zinc sulfate. With that, one gas is released, that is called hydrogen gas. So basically I am telling you that what are the features for a chemical reactions to take place. The first one is there can be a change in color. There can be an evolution of gas. And in the same reaction, if you just touch the surface from outside, you will find that it has become warm. So that means some heat has been released. So there can be a change in temperature also. Regarding change in temperature, chemical reactions are of two types. One, a chemical reaction in which heat is released. That is called as exothermic reaction. A chemical reaction in which heat is absorbed, like in biophotosynthesis, is a type of endothermic reactions. So wherever there is a chemical reaction, there can be a possibility that there is a change in color, change in temperature, evolution of gas. There can be one more thing, that these reactions, first of all, it is a chemical change. And there will be a this is not called physical state, change in physical state. Suppose if you are taking hydrogen plus oxygen, let us see, this is a gas. What is the physical state of this one? Gas. What is the physical state of this one? Gas. But we are getting water. So these are the features for a chemical reactions to take place. It does not mean that for every chemical reaction these all will be there. But one of the criteria will be there, then only you can say that chemical reaction has taken place. Fine? So when the chemical reaction has taken place, like this one you can say, if you look at this sodium atom in the reactant, you have sodium, sulfur, oxygen, barium and chlorine. So this is called as reactant. What is called this one? Reactant. When the reactants react together, it gives you the product. So then this chemical reactions you can say except sodium, all the atoms, number of atoms of sulfur in the reactant and in the product same. How many atoms of sulfur you are having in reactant? One. Here? One. Oxygen? 4. Here? 4. Then barium? 1. Here? 1. Then you can say chlorine is how many here? 2. So if I just multiply this one here, okay, this one if I multiply, then you will get that 2 atom of chlorine, 2 atom of chlorine here, and 2 atom of sodium and 2 atom of sodium. Then in the further topic we will be learning about the balancing of chemical equations. So there can be two types of equations. Way of writing of equations can be done in two ways. One is called as word equation and one is called as formula equation. Word equation means same thing when I am writing in a word, like SODI, UM sodium, SUL, PHAT, sodium sulfate plus barium chloride, then gives rise to barium sulfate and sodium chloride. Then it is considered as word equation. Normally we don't write word equation. Then we are writing elements and compounds in the form of symbol and formulae. when we are writing in the term of symbol and formulae, like this is the symbol, this is the formula, then it is called as formula equations. And that type of equation, when it is not balanced, it is called as unbalanced chemical equation. So on what principle we are balancing the chemical equation?
Left hand side is equal to.
So what are the concepts we are following? We are following law of conservation of mass. What you have learned in class 9. This is the topic of class 10. Class 9 you have learned law of conservation of mass. So basically law of conservation of mass is what? Total mass of the reactant is equal to total mass of the product. This is possible only when the individual number of atoms are equal, or either way you can say that it is balanced. So balancing is the another part. So without balancing you cannot follow the law of conservation of mass.
So you said equal amount of mass this side and equal amount
Equal number of atoms, then we are adding the mass also.
mass is also equal, sir?
Yeah.
For the reactant.
Yes.
Molecular mass.
Yes, molecular mass. As for example, suppose if you are taking this one. If you take this test tube or funnel, whatever you are taking, in this one you are putting sodium sulfate, and then you are adding some barium chloride. Suppose this barium chloride is just placed inside this and it is sealed with the help of tie, thread it is tied, then the chemical reaction has not taken place. Once you tilt it, then what you will get? You will get a white precipitate. So suppose before chemical reactions to take place, if you find the weight of this one, if it comes to be x gram, before chemical reaction, and once you are mixing this sodium sulfate and barium chloride, and again you are finding the weight now, it will come only the x gram only. That is called as law of conservation of mass. So this is law of conservation of mass. So here you have learned what are the features for a chemical reactions to take place. Can you figure it out? Change in temperature, change in physical state, change in color, evolution of gas, even change in odor also. So in summer season, if you leave the food item outside for some hours, what happens?
It stays.
So it will sting and their taste will also change, their smell will also change. This is the example of the chemical reactions. So once it is done, then you have some different types of chemical reactions. Today I will tell you one type of chemical reaction. Chemical combination. This is the first type of chemical reaction, which is called as chemical combination reactions. By the name you can say, what is the chemical combination reaction? Can you tell me? When two or more substances combine together to give you a single substance. Yes? Suppose if you are taking one of the reactant A, another you are taking B, then you get one of the compound C. Yes? This is called as combination reactions. When two or more chemical substances combine together to form a single substance. Right? For example, I am giving you here. If you take calcium oxide, and in this calcium oxide if you put water, have you heard about it before? Calcium oxide is called as quicklime. Calcium oxide is only called as quicklime. When you are putting water in this one, we are getting calcium hydroxide, which is called as slake lime. This reaction is only taking place for whitewashing. After constructions of building, before keeping this type of different types of color, we have to put chuna, which is called as chuna also, we have heard it. So in this one, when you put water, they both combine together, and then calcium hydroxide is formed. That is used for the whitewashing. Now, if you could have observed these chemical reactions when the workers they are working, you could have observed that when they are putting this calcium oxide in a bucket and they pour water, you find it starts boiling. That much heat is released. Yes, then they have to leave for some hours, then only they can start it. That means you can say that Chemical combination reaction is a type of exothermic reactions. Most of the chemical, not 100%, but the majority of the chemical combination reaction is a exothermic reactions. Okay? So here what you observe that calcium oxide when combines with water, it gives you calcium hydroxide. So this is a first type of chemical reaction that is called as chemical combination reaction. Next class I will be teaching you the decomposition reaction, then displacement reaction, then double displacement reaction. Thank you.